He's probably going to land that, go for some sort of 3CC thing, because that's usually what Terrans do. They go for a fast third command center, and he's probably not going to do a timing on me. And that Widow Mine just actually sniping 3 more drones. That's kind of unfortunate that he didn't deal with that. And he's going to be coming back in here, going to get a free queen even, and maybe, yeah, he's going to get it, and then he's just going to pick up and walk away. But I think he should have just scouted more, because, I mean, it's really easy as a turn to read that your Zerg opponent isn't scouting at all, so then you can just be like, oh, well, I'm going to do the opposite of what he expects, because there's obviously only one thing that he can expect in this position. So he did exactly that, and now he has a third base, and the Zerg doesn't. And you do not want to be behind bases in TBC. I mean,
Hell,
ZVT.
you don't want to be even on bases in
Yeah.
ZVT.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest here. Wow, dude, what does the Zerg do to get back into this?
He pretty much needs to, I mean, do damage where he can with trade evenly, do as much damage as he can, and he is attacking up into here right now. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. He is kind of melting a lot of his forces though, but those bunkers just being put up, I don't know if he's going to be able to break this. A lot of that Roach Hydra just going straight away, and compared to the army values, this isn't the greatest trade, and now it's all going to be cleaned up.
No,
But
actually, taking a look here at the units lost tab, actually, 7,281 units lost for Paper Boat. His opponent's a little more than half that.
yeah, resources lost.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
like the thing about that is that, like, all right, so Zerg units build really fast, but they cost, most of the ones that he wants to be building right now cost gas. I mean, he's not going Baneling Muta, so he can't really spend any of his mineral swell
Nice
on.
little drop here in the natural.
Yeah,
But
it's
that
gonna get
is
cleaned up.
really super bruised. Yeah, super bruised medevac. You don't really want to drop with a bruised medevac.
Yeah, but it looks like Terran's just going to be trying to drop as much as he possibly can without severely hurting his army. But he can afford to have a smaller army because he has like 3 bunkers at the front plus a tank. And you know, tanks are just something that you need to do versus Roach Hydra because of how awfully bad Roach Hydra is against any sort of tank play.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Hydralisks are light armor.
Yeah,
Do you know what AoE siege damage does to light armor?
yeah,
Bad, bad, naughty things.
yeah. And there is another drop in the main right now, and this drop isn't getting much done, but I mean it's distracting him. He wants to be doing other things right now, and he's probably going to focus down a couple more drones. And yep, there they go. Going to be picking up picking up all these Marines before
Wow,
getting a
this is
couple
a
drones.
super scrappy game, man. Taking a look at the workers killed. 26 workers killed by our green Zerg, 25 killed by the red Terran. So they're like neck and neck here.
Yeah.
Now there is a little attack here at the third, and even more drones getting gunned down. Taking a look at our total worker count, 64 to 63. Terran barely in the lead when you factor in mules.
Yeah,
That's
there is just a Marine sitting at the bottom of his main waiting to die. I find that quite hilarious, but I guess he just wanted to get that scouting information, but he's not moving to kill it, so
Yeah, I don't think he's even noticed it. And there is a drop here at the third again.
yeah.
So that worker skill count getting further and further ahead. There's really no mutalisks, no good positioning on the hydralisks, no spore crawlers, nothing to defend this drop to harassment, which is great that the leash keeps employing this. Now there's a huge fireball moving across the map, moving on to creep at this very moment. And
6 infestors.
but we've got a 30 supply advantage to a liege.
Yeah, a couple good fungals can shut this down, though. He has to be careful not to clump his bio too much. And he's clumping it really hard. That's a great fungal that he just put off, and there's another one that's going to demolish all of those Marines. Moving through again, and he's going to lift up and try to get out of there, but it looks like he's going to power right through this with those perfect fungals.
Dude, that Roach Hydra comp, Zerg is OP.
Zerg's
OP.
That's the description you can put on it. But
Dude, that's
meanwhile, the third actually gets sniped. I completely missed that.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a big move. I can't believe I missed that, but he dropped when that engagement was going on, knowing that he would pull all of his forces to deal with that as soon as he fungled, and then he sniped the third. And Marine Marauder does a lot of DPS, so he was able to do it very fastly. So no matter how good he traded, it doesn't matter because he still has a 30 supply advantage, and he's up a base.
Dude, That's some epicness. So he really didn't give a shit about that ball. The fungos didn't even matter.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he meant to do more damage with it,
All
but
right.
no, it didn't matter at all. Um, so now he's going to be moving up here, and Paper Boat's on the opposite end of the map, and this is going to suck because all of those infestors are wide out in the open. He's splitting really well, and one infestor will go down. So that's... He's move commanding. Oh, he's losing a lot of his army right now. This is not the best position. All the infestors are just kind of move commanding straight into the army. He's
And the
throwing up
Terrans
infested
in three
Terrans.
locations at once. He's at the fourth base,
And there goes
natural,
the
and the
Madrigals.
third. Wow, our Zerg literally got ripped apart. That was like dying to a speedling.
Yeah.
You have tunneling claws going through your chest.
Yeah.
Um,
That was quite brutal.
yeah. So I want to just take a moment to recourse that game, because as a Zerg player myself, I know that drops are pretty good. That being said, Mutalisks are the number one drop deterrent. He chose to not go Mutalisks. Choosing that style, he should have immediately known he needed some kind of defense against drops. Whether it be spores in your mineral line, spines in your mineral line, something to delay an automatic attack into a drone. He did nothing.
Yeah, he had zero.
He was literally banking on Hydralisks to intercept, and then later on Infestors to intercept. First of all, Hydralisks are not that great of anti-air until you have a bunch of them. Second of all, Infestors are not that great of anti-air even when you have a bunch of them, unless there's like 12 medevacs, and that just doesn't happen with this stage of drop. So he needed a spore crawler, a spine crawler. It wouldn't have been that expensive, and really it would have stopped a lot of like the multi-pronged stuff that was happening there. The fact of the matter is his opponent had a lot better multitasking, and Paper Boat got sunk.
Yeah. Indeed did get sunk. It was just coming down to the multitasking at that point. Like, he couldn't really keep up with them, and he was dropping in so many places, and it just did too much damage to the point where any amount of units that he throws away in a drop, if he kills 2 or 3 drones, it's automatically worth it because of how much he was behind. But we should be getting our next game on the way, so...
Yes, sir. I'm excited. So, it's 1-1 tie now? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if I'm the Academy, I'm thinking to myself, yes, we just lost a match, but we still have kind of the home court advantage here because they did win the very first match. So, I'm going to want to change it up. There's been a lot of Zerg-based matchups here. We've seen them get a win off it and seen them get a loss off of it. They're probably going to want to send up something that their opponent's not expecting, but they're also going to want to see who their opponent sends out, and because these guys are teams, they're going to know their opponent's weaknesses inside and out. So there's going to be elements of the decision making here that we can't even fathom.
Yeah. What race do you play?
Zerg.
You play Zerg?
Yeah, hence my
calling it-
Zerg.
Your
Yeah.
Zerg's OP?
Yeah. I've always said that, though. That's why I play them. If I didn't think they were OP, I'd be a dumbass not to choose them.
Yeah. I think Zerg is plenty good mid to late game. I feel like early game they're a little weak, but
I actually chose Zerg and Brood War for the worst reasons ever. I hated the idea of queuing up units because then I had to remember where they are and remember to add them to a hotkey. I liked the fact that I could just put all the hatcheries on one hotkey, right-click a location, and hold the button I want to make units. That has been my reasoning this whole time, over a decade later.
Yeah, I played Zerg and Brood War
switched
too.
races.
Oh wait. Okay, so they're not really responding. So we have to chill
Well, they have
for a
2
sec.
minutes. They
Yeah.
have there's 2 minutes. Each team has 2 minutes, and there's a 2-minute delay, so it's 6 minutes total.
Yeah.
Either way, it's our job to entertain. And actually, I'm more and more excited as time goes by because this viewer count keeps getting higher and higher. Guys, if you like what you see, please go on your favorite social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, hashtag UASL. Tell them how awesome these games are and give them the stream URL because that's the way you help us. We like to cast for you guys, but we like to cast for lots of you. So help make our dreams come true. Hashtag this motherfucker, and we'll all make love.
Oh man. Okay, so we are going to get the next game on the way.
Oh yeah, Tebow's playing.
Yeah, and Bad Cop. So this is going to be a really, really good one. What's Tebow's naming game?
Tebow.
It's Tebow? Oh, here he is. Oh, okay, I'm retarded. So we are going to get this on the way, and Bad Cop is a Terran, or is that Alright, so we will have another Terran versus Zerg. Sounds awesome. So when the players are ready and I stop hitting my hand on accident, we'll get the game on the way.
Yay. But yes, guys, if you like what you're seeing, please give us a follow on Twitter as well. I'm at the Only Shaft Nexius. Do you have any information there?
No, just follow my stream.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just hit the follow button on the bottom left. It definitely helps. But give us a follow. I'm always putting up what we're casting ahead of time there, as well as VODs from the Planet Casting crew and what we're uploading on YouTube. All kinds of good, crazy content. So please feel free to enjoy. Looks like we're going to get the go-go from both players, and we will go. While you're going, I'm going to go to the restroom. Be right back.
Go. So I will be just waiting on Tebow's ready. Taking a good drink of water while I am waiting. Okay, so there's the go-go's. We will be getting this next game on the way, so it will be another Terran versus Zerg on Neo Planet S, which I'm not really a fan of this matchup on this map because I don't feel like it's imbalanced or anything, but I feel like it's a little easier for Terran to maneuver around. There's a lot of drop paths. It's really hard to defend your third and your main from drops. You have to like spam static defense to do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the players. As soon as he loads, I will introduce the players, but until then, I am just going to be talking nonsense, and there we go. We're loaded, so we can introduce the players and fix the overlay this time, so it's not completely, out of game, and I'm not stupid. So up here in the top right-hand side, we have Clarity Gaming's A-Team Bad Cop, and down here in the bottom left-hand side, we have Tebow playing for the Academy. So another TVZ. This should be fun to watch.
I am excited about that, actually. Cool thing is, Tebow is a member of the Planet Casting crew, which is my organization for casters. He helps us line up with players and whatnot if we need demonstrations for particular scenario or anything like that. And he's actually responsible for teaching me most of what I know about playing competitive Zerg. So I can already come out and tell you guys that this is a bad mamma jamma.
Yeah. And they're just having some banter in the game. I'm not exactly sure what he called him, but in the earlier form of the game, he did call them Tara Bad Cop. So I guess that's a reference to Tara Babcock or whatever. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm not exactly sure what they are saying at all, so let's just focus on the game. It looks like there will be a 15 hatch coming out.
This is actually an amazing map for this matchup.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because, first of all, let's look at the architecture here of Neoplanet S. If you'll set it to my vision real quick, you can see what I'm looking at as I go through this. So, basically, coming out of the natural of the Terran, he's going to go this way, and his opponent's going to go this way, or vice versa. I'm not exactly sure. But 1A takes you one way, 1A takes your opponent the other way. So counterattacks, amazing here. So even if your opponent happens to not 1A and approach from a different angle, you always have the opportunity to go the other direction, like this, if he's coming like this. And if he switches up directions, you've always got this. As a Zerg player, counterattacks are super effective against Terran unless they are smart enough to leave Widow Mines, which you can, just send in a Ling or two to bait those out. There's not really much Terran can do against counterattacks. They don't have the ability to proxy warp in stuff, and if you get enough units in there, they're basically just dead. It's forced into a base race. The thing about Terran when they attack is they have to kind of be a little bit passive. They have to set up locations with either tanks or widow mines and bait you back into it, and they set up a bit of a contain so you can't expand or do what you want to. You can't breathe freely. By going ahead and sending in a counterattack, that puts a clock on their contain immediately. So it's a really great tactic for this matchup, and this map is perfect for it.
Yeah, and another thing is that he's actually going for the command center on the low ground, which I'm really a fan of because he is getting out 3 Reapers, so he will be able to put the pressure on, make sure the Lings stay at home, just so he can get that expansion up. Now, Tebow does see the expansion. His Overlord's not quite hidden, so he has to be careful that a Marine doesn't come out. Nice job putting the extractor down, though, so those won't be picked off at all. But he's fairly defensive right now, because with another Reaper coming out, he's not going to be able to move across the map, or a couple drones might die.
Absolutely, man. Why do you feel like Terran continue with these kind of Reaper builds? I've heard it a lot of different discussions. Primarily, that they feel like they're going to do some kind of economic mid-game, but they need to get something out early to harass the Zerg. Is that how you feel, or is there something you'd like to add?
Okay, so like one is if they get a drone kill, that's awesome. So it's for early damage kind of, but not at all. Like it's just it's something that can happen, so why not do it? And another thing is it gets so much scouting that it's unbelievable. Reapers are fast. They are not that big of a damage unit, but they can get in and out of the base pretty easily. As you see, he is probably going to send them up just to deal with these Lings. And he might lose one. Nope, he's going to send the other 2 up, kill the Lings. But 3 Queens are on the way over, so he is going to have to retreat. Okay, he's okay. He's going to get a lot of scouting. He's going to push back creep most likely because you can target down the tumors really fast, as we see him doing right now probably. Dude, the tumors, like, right... Okay, there we go. I thought he wasn't going to kill it for a second.
Have you ever thought about something? I hate to interrupt your thought, but you notice like creep tumors explode, right?
Sure.
So you've got to imagine that some of it gets on the Reaper. Well, imagine where that creep tumor just was. The Queen just pooped it out. So is it like an exploding cow pie to the face?
I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's probably something.
A cow pie is a cow turd.
I'm pretty sure that creep is pretty much just Queen's shit, but I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I have to say that if I was a Marine, I probably wouldn't have fun walking on creep any day.
Yes. It's either creep or the marshes of Vietnam. Take your pick. No, seriously, take your pick. Which would you rather?
Creep, just because I want to see what it looks like in real life.
I got you. Pretty good Lynx around here, but the Hellions doing
Not actually
a really
gonna
good
kill
job.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. The Hellions kiting around the Reapers, so then the Lynx were targeting the Reapers, but then the Reapers started kiting around the Hellions. Beautiful control there by Bad Cop. I really hope we can see control like that for continuing on, because he hasn't lost a single unit in this engagement yet.
Has he lost a single unit all game? No, he hasn't.
No.
Zerga's lost 14 and he hasn't lost a single unit. But
Well,
we do
like I
see
said,
double
excellent
upgrades on the
control.
way. What'd you say?
Excellent control.
Yeah, definitely. And he is going to be continuing to push back this creep. Now, he does have 3 queens, so it's not really that big of a deal, but it is annoying. I mean, creep tumors don't cost money, but with slow roaches off creep, I mean, you can get caught really easily, and plus, oh, he's going to lose a Reaper. Okay, first unit of the game goes down, second unit goes down in the same 5 seconds, so making somewhat
was
of a
up
comeback.
to 800 minerals banked. He had got up to 800 minerals. How the hell does that happen?
Because he probably just spent it on, like, 20 roaches, which he did.
Yeah, that just says he's getting sloppy, man. because that's a lot of larvae he was just sitting on for a while. So he's lost some production there, which has allowed Bad Cop to get ahead by 9 SCVs.
Yeah, but he's going to be marching across the map right now doing a huge Roach Baneling attack. And just like I said, those Reapers and those Hellions are getting the scouting. Look at how many bunkers he's built already. There's no way this is going to do any damage. This is going to be coming super late, and he is going to have it ready. 2 Marauders in the bunker, 3 Widow Mines, 4 now set up. This is not going to do anything. Although the Burrow Micro
First
is
bunker?
actually pretty
The first
cool.
bunker goes down. Yeah, nice little burrow micro, but these units are way too clumped right now. He's doing a good job splitting off small numbers of roaches, but the SCV's coming along to get some pretty good heals there. But we've got the first bunker going down, and he's going to try to march up the ramp, but he's actually being held there by SCVs. He's not really microing those roaches. Lings are getting killed off by the Hellions. This is a
Oh,
horrible attack by Tebow right now.
yeah, he's
But
losing
he's
a
managed
lot
to
right
kill
now.
off those Hellions. He's lost everything. This entire attack is shut down. He's going to try to get up this ramp, but there's a full wall off. There's plenty of Marines behind it. He can try to target down that depot. He might even get it, but I still don't think there's enough units here to warrant this.
Yeah, right now he's just going to try to pick off a few extra SCVs. He knows this attack was wasted. He's not going to be able to do anything else with
And
it.
he's floating 1,300.
He's going to probably start. Well, there goes his third, so that's going down right now. He says, guys. I don't know what he's going to say.
He's going to talk about how bad he's playing. He's better than this.
I don't think this is the build I was supposed to go.
Yeah, this is how the build was supposed to go. Yeah, he knows he's playing bad, dude. Look at this. Look at the hatcheries. Simply just floating. Look. He's on literally 6 larvae now. He was at 24.
Yeah. And he is going to deny this third for a brief second, but these are just little wins that he needs to keep doing, but that's the only way he can come back into this game. If he tries to do another attack and it fails, this game is over. So he has to keep doing these little victories all over the place, denying things, killing off extra SCVs that are rallying from this point to this point, from the second to the natural. The natural to the third. And he has to be on his creep spread, he has to get better tech, and he has to be ready to hold off whatever he gets thrown at him. Which right now isn't even that much. It's 2 Widow Mines, a couple Marauders, and a few Marines without combat shields, so I'm sure Ling Baneling can hold this off, although he doesn't really want to engage into it. There's 24 Lings on the way right now, plus 2 armor is getting research, so he's probably going to lose this third, but I can't see him actually dying to this. Oh, meanwhile, counterattattack.
Yeah, those counterattacks are devastating on this map. That's exactly why he's left a Widow Mine there. But even so, Marines were there to intercept it. Now there's a nice little attack here at the 3rd and the 4th. Looks like Tebow's getting a little bit greedy, trying to spend some of that extra money. Might have been better off to get another macro hatch, because he's actually going to lose both of these bases for basically naught.
Yeah. And he has to cancel it, and he doesn't cancel it, actually, so he's going to be losing 300 minerals there. And meanwhile, the Widow Mine kills every single Ling that was on the field, so now he doesn't have any Zerglings. It's pure Baneling. He has to come in here, and he actually does get a good couple connects, but a lot of them detonating on Marauders. A couple of those could have, he could have backed off with the Banelings. Now the Spire is finished, so he will be able to get Mutas onto the field to deal with those medevacs. But again, he's down a base, and what is he supposed to do?
I'm not sure. Bad cop telling him to get out of here.
Yeah. And now he's continuing to keep the supply lead. It is a pretty brutal supply lead, but there's Mutalisk on the field right now. He's gonna have to do some extreme damage to come back into this game. Baneling speed is done, but all the Baneling just blow up from that one Widow Mine. So
basically, he's just not going to tap out, which is fine. I'm completely cool with that. But guys, let's be realistic here. His opponent is a Terran. His opponent has mules, and his opponent has 3 orbital commands on 3 bases. On the other hand, Tebow is a Zerg player. In fact, he's the pretty pink Zerg player. He's on 2 bases. He's trying to get a third. His opponent is about to kill his third.
Yeah.
He's dead.
If he keeps throwing away armies like this, like I don't actually see. Actually, no. now that all those banelings exploded, I don't see him holding this off. But if he had all those banelings and he held this off, that would be bad for bad copy, as he can't just keep throwing away these armies, even though he has a decent
Well,
supply
if
lead.
it's banelings that are killing his army, he can definitely keep killing off these armies. Because
Uh,
if you're using banelings to kill off bio, eventually you've just spent too much gas and you can't transition out of it. So I think it's a 50-50, but either way, man, Tebow's dead. He's
yeah,
GG'd. Thank
yep.
God. Um, Sorry, Tebow. You know that wasn't your best game. You're a much better player than that. So good luck. I'm not sure what happened, man.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom, so you go ahead and recap or whatever, and I'll be back in a minute.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you all for tuning in because I'm noticing that every time I look at this viewer list, it is higher and higher. We're at 45 viewers right now. That's live. We're running like 10 streams right now for the UASL. So, I mean, that's really, really awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, for choosing this stream. In fact, this is Shaft of the Clinic Casting Crew. My co-caster is SMI's Nexius. We are very pleased to be presenting to you day number 8 of the Union of America's StarCraft 2 Team League. If you'll bear with me one moment, I'm going to go ahead and get some administration done. Please feel free to chit chat in the chat room. I'm definitely paying attention and willing to answer any of your questions. But so just going back to when I was saying Tebow was not playing that very well. Really, his biggest mistake was when he first hit 700 minerals. Um, Basically, that sets you up for failure as a Zerg. If you ever start missing injects, you never stop missing injects because you can never respend that energy. It will always be floating. It will always be off kilter a little bit. Um, so when he hit the injects and everything, and they finally popped off, he was able to spend that money. I think he got down to like 175. But by the time the next round of injects came back, he was up to like 750, 800 again. So he was constantly, going down low and then back up, down low, back up. And, at the worst case scenario, he was at like 1700 minerals. So that's really what hurt him there. He was floating like 16 larva. He literally just did not play a very good game mechanically. The strategic choices he was making didn't even apply because the mechanics weren't there. Shout outs to Dieto123, who has just tuned in. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Tell us, what's your StarCraft experience? Is this, one of your first casts, or are you a Brood War veteran? You know, feel free to chit chat. We're definitely paying attention. How does it feel to type at like 20 words per minute? I don't know. I type a lot faster than that. I'm doing great, Bunker Ernie. How are you, man? It's great to see you. I actually don't remember where I know you from, but I know you. Uh, LG Legit Gaming, I think maybe. Maybe I casted you with StarCraft 2 strategy. I really can't remember. Hey, Nexius, I don't know if you want to